Good afternoon. I am particularly excited as today we are here to see the outcome of our Carbon for Retail refrigeration project. This project has engaged 15 team members of our group for 3 years in 3 different countries. I have had the honor of working with an excellent team that was able to exceed the expectations and offer something valuable to the market and to our sector worldwide. We are not here to celebrate a project closing, but a new life for our industry, a change in perspective, a paradigm shift in the commercial refrigeration sector. So, today we are going to talk about sustainable solutions. But first of all, what does sustainability mean? The World Wildlife Fund says sustainability is meeting the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their needs. This implies economic growth, social progress, and environmental protection. It is clear then that it is not so simple to decide what is sustainable and what is not. Sometimes it is not completely clear whether a new industrial technology or a new legal provision is to be considered sustainable from all points of view, or whether it may harm the future generations in some way. The most discussed issues today are population growth, energy management, and waste. The population is increasing to a peak of 10 billion people in 2100. The increasing demand of energy, mainly coming from the developing countries due to their need to set up a proper food cold chain and to have access to air conditioning, will lead climate warming well beyond the expected 2 degrees Celsius. Renewable energy needs to be scaled up at least 6 times faster, and there has to be an immediate shift to the maximum efficiency of appliances and processes for the world to meet the goals of the Paris Agreement. And of course, managing the waste. The energy production and consumption and global warming are closely linked. The problem of global warming has been at the center of an international debate for years. Europe is the world leader in the policies to fight climate change, with its European Green Deal and the 2050 climate neutrality target set out in the European climate law, with even negative emissions after 2050, which in our sector results in the F-gas regulation, the eco-design and energy labeling regulation schemes. These acts will guide the policies of all member states for the next 30 years and will serve as the basis for all future national environmental laws. The US President Joe Biden has also decided to rejoin the Paris Agreement and launched his Clean Energy Revolution and Environmental Justice Plan, the US Green New Deal, definitely inspired by the European policy, but not less powerful and ambitious. The commercial refrigeration systems give direct greenhouse gas emissions due to the refrigerants used with their global warming potential, and indirect emissions as a result of energy consumption and their efficiency. As always, there are 2 ways, the unsustainable and the sustainable. Today, we will present the achievements of the Life Carbon for Retail refrigeration project, and we will try to answer to the following questions. Do we still need the highly climate-impacting chemical refrigerants called F-gases to run the commercial refrigeration business? Is chemical-free refrigeration really a sustainable long-term solution, or there are some disadvantages? And finally, how will be in 2050 the food store, and what is the right move today? But before we start, since this is a virtual event, we have a virtual streaming platform to explain so you know how you can interact with us. For this, I would like to ask our dissemination specialist, Silvia Delou, to support me.
Thank you, Francesco, and thanks to all of you for having decided to attend our live C4R digital conference. My task for today is very easy, and I'm sure you have already know how to surf and interact with a streaming platform. But let me give you some tips first. At first, I would like to remind you that live translation in Italian, Spanish, and Romanian is available. You have just to select the flag of your language on the top of the streaming window. Then, during the entire stream, you will also be able to share with us your feelings about discussions, videos, and presentation by choosing the emoticons you can find on the left side of the live page. You can also send us your question. If time allows, they will be answered at the end of the event. Otherwise, you will find them at the end of the day on the platform, a few days after the event. Of course, all questions sent will be kept anonymous. Then quickly surfing the other platform pages, you can find the event program and the complete list of speakers with a short profile. The last page is now dedicated to present live C4R general video, but after the event, you will find here all videos that you're going to see now. Now, hoping to meet each other in person soon, please enjoy this virtual time together.
Thank you very much. Let me warmly welcome our very important guests, and I leave the speech to Mr. Urbaniak and Mr. Susani.
Thank you very much, Francesco. I hope that I'm being heard by everyone, and you can also see me well. So first of all, I would like to thank you for a very interesting and encouraging speech. And I would like to greet all of the participants, and especially the members of your project and of your team. The project that you are about to finish implementing is one of among the top priorities for the LIFE program. As all of you know, the climate change mitigation is also part and at the heart of the European Green Deal and with European climate ambitions. We all need to keep the rising climate temperatures within reasonable levels and to ensure that EU as such reaches its commitments under Paris Agreement. Therefore, your project and many other projects that are aiming at focusing of removal or exchange or replacement of F-gases are of utmost importance for the LIFE program. So again, I wanted to congratulate you on an excellent project and excellent results. Your project was very ambitious, or it's still actually, as you have set very high technical objectives, very high environmental objectives in terms of reducing the energy consumption, in terms of reducing the refrigerant GWP to 1. You aim to reduce significantly the whole carbon footprint of the entire value chain and to help reducing EU greenhouse gas emissions by at least 1.5%. Your project also aimed to support the policy objectives. Policy feedback is part of all of our projects that are supported by LIFE program, as we anticipate that by your practical experience, you can also feed into European policy process design by identifying gaps, having suggestions, and moving the process forward. So your project also aims at setting an industrial standard by implementing several pilot projects in different EU countries. And finally, one of your most important ambitions was to promote the conversation among existing actors in the field to take the discussion forward. So again, I would like to congratulate you on the progress so far and on the success of your project. And needless to say, I'm very fond of your whole team and regret the fact that we could not meet in person due to COVID. But my hope is that you will continue your work. Therefore, I'm hoping that you will also submit another proposal in the future and that we could continue working together. So again, congratulations. And to all of the participants of this discussion, I wish you a best and fruitful discussions. And now I would like to handle the microphone or the floor to say to my esteemed colleague, Mr. Ludovico Susani, who was very closely monitoring this project and has excellent technical knowledge about all of the details. So thank you very much, everyone, and I'm handing the floor over to Mr. Susani. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Urbaniak, and good afternoon, everybody. I think I will quickly introduce my role first, just to give you the opportunity to understand which are the relationship between me and Mr. Urbaniak and the project. I'm a technical expert which works for the consortium that supports the EU agency SINEA in the monitoring of the projects founded under the LIFE program. And I'm based in the country where the coordinating beneficiary is based, where EPTA Italy is based. And so I have the opportunity to have a closer supervision of the project activities with respect to my colleague, Mr. Urbaniak. And from Italy, I can support him in the assessment of the quality of the project actions and outcome. And during the 3 years of the implementation of the C4R project, I could meet several times, 3 times in person, the project team, and also had established frequent contact with all the project team, and in particular with Mr. Mastrapasqua. So I could really appreciate during the project implementation the professionalism of the company and the quality of the management they put on these projects. As Mr. Urbaniak said, the project, the core part of the project, which is about the technical implementation of the new technology applied to refrigeration system, it's definitely the most important part in terms of results, which was really successful, and the 2 technology developed could demonstrate that it's now viable to use CO2 as refrigerant, so the less harm of natural refrigerant we can have, we can use it, and also at the same time produce energy efficiency. So in the same product we can deliver 2 different positive impact to the mitigation of climate change. However, although the project is starting from the technical part in order to deliver the results, I really think that the real added value that the project gave was more about the capability to disseminate the great technical results achieved and to target the different stakeholders that have been identified since the very beginning. And thanks to the dissemination and communication activity that the project put in place in these 3 years, there is really high chance that the project can multiply the benefits that have been produced during the project, also to multiply them after the project conclusion. And I'm talking of several kinds of impacts. Of course, first of all, environmental impacts, the possibility to replicate the pilots after the project and to make the pilots a standard product on the market will certainly provide the sector with a very sustainable and energy efficient solution in the years to come. At the same time, the EPTA company will have a direct impact, economic impact from the project. We really hope this, because the product, the technology are already ready in the market, and so they will generate an income, hopefully directly for the company. But also, I guess that this will push also the whole sector in the direction of the sustainability and increase the competitiveness of the sector. Last but not least, what is very important, and Mr. Urbaniak already said something about that, for the program is fundamental also to assess which are the policy impact, the potential policy impact of One Life project. And in this specific case, certainly the outcome of the project can have also interesting impact in both F-gas regulation, which is now under revision. So the project can contribute with precise recommendation to the revision of the F-gas regulation. And also it's a project that can clearly support the implementation of the eco-design directive as well. I have to say that the project certainly delivered the result claimed at the beginning, and the result delivered are the result that we always wish to have from live projects, but it's not always possible to have all these results together. So I also want to congratulate the whole project team and Mr. Mastraparqua for the work done, which has been excellent. And I wish to all of them the best for the afterlife, which seems already now very, very promising. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your kind words and for introduction from the institutions, for the European Commission to our event today. Thank you very much again. Now we want to tell you how and why we met the European Commission and how we got involved with the Carbon for Retail Refrigeration project. Mr. Maurizio Orlandi, EU reference contact for the LIFE C4R.
You may wonder how LIFE C4R project was born and why we decided to start it. In the beginning, it was late 2017 and we were closing a successful R&D project named Common Energy. A milestone in our industry because it aimed at transforming supermarket into real concrete example of energy efficiency and sustainability. At that time, the F-gas regulation was starting to phase down the HCFC refrigerants. We had it very clear in our mind that CO2 represented a definitive solution for medium and large stores, the only long-term sustainable solution. But CO2 was known for having a major drawback: hot climate. CO2 worked extremely well, reliable and efficient in cold climate, but struggled in some in the hot climate region, like our in South Europe, with a severe lack of efficiency compared with traditional HFC. This was the so-called CO2 equator, more or less at 45-degree latitude near Bologna in Italy. With such disadvantage, CO2 was not yet a global universal solution. However, the Common Energy project showed a clever way to close this gap, and that CO2 could perform extremely well and efficiently in any climate situation, and more importantly, without adding any cost or complexity to a normal basic CO2 system. At that point, we had the solution, but how could we launch the product and ensure the market uptake? Here comes the unrevealed support of the EU that not only sponsors research and development projects, but also promotion of market-ready technology. And we met LIFE and its climate mitigation action. In the summer of 2018, I started writing a proposal to answer to a call LIFE 17. We knew that a global universal solution needed to be simple, reliable, efficient, and sustainable. So we started our journey to anticipate a trend that would follow through the whole of Europe. Believe it or not, here we are after another 3 very intense years, at the end of the LIFE Carbon for Retail Refrigeration project. Follow the next presentation and see how we shifted the CO2 equator out of the south of Europe, combining 2 simple but smart technologies called FTE, full transcritical efficiency, and ETE, extreme temperature efficiency.